Once upon a time there lived a young boy named Tom who loved to learn new things. Every day after school, Tom would visit the local library to read interesting books about science, nature, history, and more. The little library became like a second home to Tom. He loved every section and aisle of that old library, full of magical books that could transport him to amazing places. One day, as Tom was searching for a new book, he stumbled upon a strange old book hidden in the very back corner of the library. It had a tattered brown leather cover with faded gold writing that he could barely make out. Full of curiosity, Tom pulled the book off the shelf and read the title, The Lost Book of Knowledge. He opened it up only to find that all of the pages were completely blank. As Tom flipped through the strange blank book, he suddenly felt a strong whoosh of wind swirl around him. The pages began filling up before his eyes with colorful images and text. Tom gasped as the book started to glow and shake in his hands. Before he knew what was happening, the glowing book sucked him inside. Tom tumbled and turned until he landed with a soft thud onto a grassy meadow. As he stood and brushed the dirt off his clothes, he looked around and realized he was no longer in the library. Lush green hills rolled all around under a bright blue sky with puffy white clouds. "Where am I?" Tom wondered aloud. Just then, a voice responded behind him. "You're in the land of knowledge, of course." Tom spun around to see a tall wizard with a long white beard smiling down at him. He wore flowing purple robes covered in shiny stars and moons. In his right hand, he held a long wooden staff. "I am the Wizard of Knowledge, guardian of this land." "Welcome," said the wizard warmly. Tom couldn't believe his eyes. A real live wizard. "How did I get here?" asked Tom. "Through the magic of the lost book, which serves as a portal to this land for those with curiosity and a thirst for learning just like you," explained the wizard. "I have so much to show you here, Tom." Tom could barely contain his excitement as the Wizard of Knowledge led him through the countryside towards the shimmering castle in the distance. The wizard told Tom that this special place was filled with every piece of knowledge and information from the entire history of the universe. Tom's eyes widened as they approached the massive castle gates, intricately carved from marble and inlaid with gold and jewels. As the gates automatically swung open before them, Tom took in the incredible sights around him. The wizard led him down a long hall lined with towering shelves crammed full of books of every shape, size, and color imaginable. "This is the Grand Library, which contains all published works in your world and beyond," said the wizard. Strange creatures soared between the towering bookcases as Tom tried to take it all in. He had never seen anything like it. The wizard then brought Tom into a giant gallery with the most incredibly lifelike artwork and statues from the greatest artists and sculptors from every time period hanging on the walls and hallways. "The Grand Art Museum, home to all masterpieces ever created," explained the wizard. Tom was blown away. Their next stop in the castle was the Cosmic Theater, where Tom could view any event that had ever occurred in history on the giant crystal 3D display hovering over the stadium seating. Tom watched in awe as major events like the moon landing and invention of the light bulb were projected in front of his eyes as if he were there live. The wizard then led Tom upstairs to the rooftop star observatory that allowed visitors to view distant planets and galaxies up close through superpowered telescopes. On the astronomy platform, floating holographic projections mapped out the known universe around them. Tom could have spent the rest of his life exploring this castle and still not uncovered all of its wonders. After what seemed like hours but must have only been a few minutes, the wizard told Tom that it was time for other curious visitors to take their turn. Tom couldn't believe how quickly the time had flown as he explored the castle and unlocked knowledge he had never imagined. He wasn't ready to leave this magical place yet. The wizard handed Tom an enchanted compass that would allow him to return to the Land of Knowledge's castle whenever he wanted in the future. Tom thanked the wizard profusely and promised he would be back soon to keep learning. He waved goodbye as the same whoosh of wind spun him round and round, transporting him back through the glowing pages of the book in the library. With a soft pop, Tom found himself back in the real world right where he started as if no time had passed at all. At first, he wondered if it had all been a daydream, but then he felt the enchanted compass in his pocket. He really had visited a land beyond his wildest imagination. From that day forward, Tom made frequent return trips to the castle to discover more of its endless wonders and satisfy his ever-growing quest for knowledge. He spent his nights dreaming of what mysteries he would uncover during his next visit to this incredible magical kingdom. With his thirst for learning greater than ever, Tom knew that this was only the beginning of many more adventures yet to come.